Yeah, thanks for people inboxing me and stuff like that, which is very sweet. Yeah, just to explain it a bit more, I do have a plan or something if something does get worse. So anything like that, it gets to a horrible point. I've already been in contact with my doctor in the last few months anyway. So increasing medication, various stuff, and I can easily go back to them. So it's not. I'm not at the point where it's just everything's just completely useless. It's just that you get to a point where I'm thinking that I've got to try and do something else, something different, and just trying to keep myself grounded, if that makes sense, just to try and realize that this doesn't last. It doesn't go on forever. It's a point in my life where I know that things have been shit. I mean, they've been absolutely shit. There's people who have, I don't want to go into too much detail, people who have been in my life and it's just they're not being the best. That's all I'm saying. And it's just so hard to explain because you're trying to get through a period where you know you're going to get better. You know you're not going to be like this forever. And making a permanent solution to a short-term pain isn't the answer. So if you understand what I mean by that, it's just not right. You've got to realize that these things will not stay the same. Having said that, that doesn't take away the pain of what you're feeling at the time. There's lots of different reasons. People know, that about my job and all sorts of different things. And that was great, going out to work each day, but behind the scenes of all that, not having a job and getting shit money from the government just causes other problems. And say, for instance, I went for an interview a few weeks ago for a very similar job that I was working before, and they haven't even rang me back. I haven't even said no thanks, and it's just like that when you get those sort of things that get you down. And if you're feeling pretty low and pretty shit about yourself in the first place, doing something like that just compounds your feeling. So yeah, it's just, there's loads of other things as well that have gone on and have been going on for years. Health, all sorts of different things, that my house, how I live, and I know all that. I had to chop that. There's a kid came past on his bike, and he was slowing down, and he was obviously trying to listen to what I was saying. I didn't want to hear him say this. Anyway, yes, I know the therapy side of things. I've gone through, lots of different, cognitive behavior therapy, and I know that I'm trying to put into place all those sort of things that they say in therapy that you have to do. And sometimes that makes it worse because you're trying those things and yet you're still battling against the shitty feelings. And that's what makes, I think, this whole situation shit. Is that after all of these years, that pain is still there. The pain of feeling completely at loss of what to do. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to make sense of what I can do next and how I can progress to the next part of my life. When my mum died, I always said, that you move on to the next part, and obviously it takes time. It takes a long time to get over somebody. It really does. But with losing my job, and then this summer, and then lots of other things that have been going on, it just compounds, and it makes, like I said to the doctor, I said, if if it was just the one thing that happened, fair enough. But certain other things come along at the same time, and I'm just thinking, well, is it really worth it? Is it worth it? And I know I've got my plan in place, and I'm not feeling particularly suicidal at the moment. But those things, those intrusive thoughts, what you call intrusive thoughts, come in now and again, and it just makes it so much more difficult, because you're battling those thoughts. Your logic side, you're saying, things will get better, things are not going to stay the same all the time. I know all these things. So when people say, oh yeah, but I know that, I'm very much aware of that, but that doesn't stop the pain, what you're feeling now, and doesn't stop how you're feeling as a human being, and even if this goes out to somebody to try and help somebody else, just try anything, try something new, to try and alleviate it and try and get better, because that's all I want to do. And the point of me being accountable is get better. That's all I want.